We need to talk about the USB drive, the most scientifically impossible object in your pocket. You know the drill. You try to plug it in. It doesn't fit, so you flip it over. It still doesn't fit, so you flip it back to the original side, and suddenly it slides right in. Now, in a standard three-dimensional universe, a flat object has two sides, side A and side B. If A is wrong, B must be right. That is basic geometry. But the USB drive defies geometry. It requires 3 turns to work. Why? Because the USB drive is not a solid object. It is a quantum particle. Just like an electron, the USB exists in a state of superposition. Until you successfully observe it inside the port, it is simultaneously upside down and right side up. When you try the first time, the universe hasn't decided yet, so it rejects you. When you flip it, the universe creates a probability cloud where the port itself has rotated. It is only on the third attempt that you force the timeline to collapse. You are effectively wrestling the simulation into submission just to transfer a PDF file. Scientists call this spin 1/2 symmetry. We call it a glitch. The computer isn't just a machine. It's a localized reality distortion field. The port doesn't have a shape until you force one upon it. So the next time you are fumbling with that connector in the dark, remember, you aren't clumsy. You are just waiting for the wave function to collapse. Welcome to Applied Absurdities. We don't think outside the box, but that's not it. No cliffhangers, no clickbait. You want the real? Fuck it. Here it is. Imagine a coin spinning on a table. Look at it closely. While it's spinning, is it heads or is it tails? Common sense says it's just spinning, but quantum physics says you're wrong. In that blur of motion, the coin is technically heads and tails at the exact same time. This is quantum superposition, and it is the glitch that runs our entire universe. You see, in the subatomic world, particles don't like to make decisions. An electron doesn't pick a place to be. It exists as a cloud of probability. It is everywhere and nowhere, all at once. It is a ghost in the machine. The most famous example is Schrödinger's cat. You put a cat in a box with a poison trap triggered by a radioactive atom. Until you open that box to check, math says the cat is both alive and dead. 2 realities, stacked on top of each other. But here is where it gets uncomfortable. Physics tells us that the act of observing is what forces the universe to choose. When you look at the spinning coin, it creates friction and it falls, heads or tails. When you open the box, the cat is either alive or dead. The wave function collapses. The possibilities vanish. Reality hardens into cement. But that begs a terrifying question. If looking at something forces it to be real, what happens when no one is looking at you? When you are alone in a room and the door is closed, are you still sitting there? Or does your wave function spread out? Do you become a blur of probability? Maybe the only reason you exist right now is because the universe is watching. And what happens to the version of you that didn't happen? The coin lands on heads here. But maybe, just maybe, in a different branch of the timeline, it landed on tails. So the next time you feel a sense of deja vu, or you swear you put your keys on the table but they're gone, don't worry, you aren't crazy. You're just caught in the blur. The universe is just a spinning coin, and it hasn't decided what to do with you yet. Welcome to Applied Absurdities. There is no box.